Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. At first glance, it was just a silver necklace, simple, elegant, unassuming. But what if something that small could carry the weight of something unspoken? Something sacred? During a quiet live stream, Lu Yuning leaned in to read a fan comment, and for a fleeting moment, the camera caught a subtle glint at his collarbone. A silver chain, delicate and plain but strangely familiar. Days later, Zuer appeared at an airport, and there it was again, the same necklace, resting gently on her chest like it had always belonged there. Was it a coincidence? Fans didn't think so. Not because of how rare that design was, not because of how often they had both worn it quietly over the months, but because of what it felt like. This wasn't a flashy brand accessory. There was no endorsement deal, no stylized product placement. In fact, neither of them ever mentioned it. It was quiet. It was personal. It was intentional. And that silence, it spoke louder than words. Couple necklaces aren't new in the entertainment world, but this one didn't scream romance. It whispered it, like a shared secret, like a promise tucked away behind the spotlight, like a symbol of something so fragile, so intimate it couldn't be shown off, only worn. For audiences in their 30s, 40s, 50s, those who've lived, who know love's quieter chapters, this felt different. It wasn't teenage infatuation. It was mature, deliberate, protected. It was the kind of love that doesn't need to be announced. And maybe that's why this necklace hit harder than any paparazzi photo could. It made us wonder, what kind of relationship chooses symbols over statements? What kind of bond needs no confirmation, because it's already understood? For many fans, this was the moment everything shifted. Not because of what they wore, but because of why they kept wearing it, quietly, separately, consistently. And in that quiet, something beautiful may have begun to bloom. There's something oddly beautiful about the way two people begin to mirror each other without realizing it. The same choice of color, the same texture of fabric, the way one person's style echoes in the other's wardrobe days later, as if they're carrying each other's presence in the smallest, most unconscious of ways. That's exactly what fans began to notice with Lu Yuning and Zuer. It didn't start with bold declarations or matching designer logos. It began quietly, almost shyly. A soft blue shirt worn by Lu during a variety show. A few days later, Zuer posted a casual photo in what seemed like the very same hue, soft and layered in a similar cut. At first, people dismissed it as coincidence. After all, colors trend, fashion cycles repeat. But then came the purples. The oversized black and white themes. The same relaxed streetwear jackets, the coordinated silhouettes, the mirrored moods. It wasn't just about what they wore. It was how those choices began to align over time, how one seemed to unknowingly complete the other's aesthetic. Fans began to stitch together comparisons across months, compiling side-by-side shots that revealed something quietly profound. In celebrity culture, where every outfit is carefully chosen, every public appearance curated, these patterns started to feel less like fashion and more like language. A secret conversation carried out not with words, but with threads and textures. As the images multiplied, so did the questions. Were they borrowing from each other's wardrobes? Sharing a stylist? Or was this something deeper? An emotional synchrony? A shared rhythm that had begun to spill outwards? To those who've experienced deep, intuitive relationships, this looked familiar. It's what happens when two lives start blending in the margins. When choices become aligned not because of intention, but because of connection. The most striking part, perhaps, is that neither Lu Yuning nor Zuer ever acknowledged it. They didn't point to their similarities or laugh them off. They simply wore what they wore and carried on. But the silence only made the signal stronger. Because sometimes the loudest messages are the ones we never say. And in their quiet harmony, fans saw more than coincidence. They saw intimacy, resonance. Two lives moving in quiet parallel, whether by fate or design, and perhaps slowly becoming one. Sometimes, it's not the grand gestures that reveal the truth. It's the background details, the things we're not meant to notice. And for those who followed Lu Yuning and Song Zuer closely, something subtle has begun to emerge. Not from headlines or interviews, but from their most personal space. Their homes. It all began with a casual live stream. Lu Yuning was chatting comfortably with fans, the tone easy, the lighting soft. But behind him, just above his shoulder, was a framed painting. Soft brushstrokes, muted colors, modern but intimate. It might have gone unnoticed if it hadn't appeared days later behind Song Zuer, in a completely different setting, during her own beauty livestream. Same painting, same frame, same soft gray wall. Coincidence? Perhaps. But then came the teacups, the lighting fixtures, the identical indoor plants and wooden shelves. A particularly sharp-eyed fan noticed the curve of a doorway behind Lu matched the edge of a mirror frame in Song Zuer's post. Individually, these are just furnishings. But stacked together, they begin to tell a quieter, more compelling story. Because people in love don't always announce it with words. Sometimes it shows up in the way their lives start to blend. The same kitchen mugs, the same furniture choices, the same soft-toned paint on the walls. For older fans, for those who've lived through long-distance relationships, quiet partnerships, or even secret romances, they recognize the signs. This wasn't just design coincidence. It felt lived in. It felt shared. In a world where celebrity homes are usually guarded, stylized, and managed by PR teams, these glimpses felt unfiltered, organic, and maybe just maybe real. What if these weren't two people hiding a secret, but protecting a space that feels safe away from flashbulbs and questions? What if the shared decor wasn't planned, but simply the result of a life that's already entangled? To some fans, this mystery wasn't about proof. It was about resonance. Because when you've loved someone in silence behind closed doors, you know what it looks like. And this looked like home. So the question remains, are they neighbors with the same taste? Or soulmates finally living under one roof? Maybe we'll never get an answer. But sometimes the answer is already in the background. Quiet, subtle, and full of love. Some moments are never scripted. They're not rehearsed. Not filtered through a PR lens. They happen in the quiet space between takes. In the way someone looks at you when they think no one's watching. That's where the real story of Lu Yuning and Song Zuer begins to unfold. In one behind-the-scenes clip from their recent shoot, a gust of wind caught Song Zuer's hair as she stepped off set. Without hesitation, Lu Yuning reached out and gently tucked the loose strands behind her ear. His fingers lingered for just a second too long. She looked up at him, and for a moment the world seemed to pause. It wasn't acting. Fans could tell. Because when you've been in love or when you've lost it, you know that look. That small, vulnerable softness that only exists between two people who truly care. What followed was even more intimate in its silence. She smiled. Not the public, polished smile for cameras, but something quieter. Private. As if they shared a secret only the two of them understood. And that's not the only time it's happened. In a candid clip from a variety show wrap, as the crew applauded, Lu Yuning's hand reached slightly behind him and brushed against Song Zuer's. She responded not with words, but with the gentlest nod. Most viewers missed it. But those who slowed it down, zoomed in, saw something unmistakable. Connection. It wasn't performative. It was respectful, grounded, and mature. The kind of chemistry that doesn't need grand displays. Just small gestures, shared glances, and quiet understanding. To older fans, those who've experienced long-term companionship or a love that exists in the margins, these moments resonated deeply. Because love, real love, often hides in the in-between. It's in the way someone softens their voice when they speak to you. The way they notice when you're tired. The way they make space for your silence. And that's what we see in Lu Yuning and Song Zuer. Not just sparks or butterflies, but something steady. Grown. Perhaps even sacred. Maybe they'll never admit it on camera. Maybe they don't have to. Because sometimes, love is clearest when it's not spoken at all. When a love story isn't confirmed, fans do what they've always done best. Connect the dots. And in the case of Lu Yuning and Song Zuer, those dots are turning into a constellation of evidence that fans simply can't ignore. What began as whispers has now grown into full-blown theories. Shared in fan forums, dissected on live streams, even visualized in mini-documentary edits that feel more like love letters than speculation. But what are fans really saying? Let's dive into the most viral and surprisingly convincing theories. Gemstone 1. The necklace was never just jewelry. Many believe the now-famous necklace wasn't a styling choice. It was a gift. A private, meaningful token exchanged months ago, possibly during Song Zuer's birthday or a quiet celebration after wrapping a drama together. According to one widely circulated post, a fan claimed to have seen the two having dinner at a secluded restaurant weeks before the necklace first appeared. While no clear photos exist, a blurry background image matches Song Zuer's outfit from that day. Coincidence? Or confirmation? Handshake 2. The soft launch theory. Another favorite among fans is the soft launch idea, where celebrities ease the public into their relationship without ever saying it directly. This theory suggests both management teams have agreed to let subtle signs surface. Shared accessories, warm body language, relaxed interviews, all building toward an eventual reveal. It's strategic, slow, and very in line with how mature relationships are handled in modern celebrity culture, especially in Asia. And for many longtime fans, this approach doesn't feel deceptive. It feels respectful. After all, real love doesn't always need a spotlight. Ring 3. Already engaged. Yes, the boldest theory claims they're not just dating, but already engaged. Some fans have zoomed in on Liu Yuning's pendant and pointed out that the shape is suspiciously similar to a ring holder. Add that to Song Zuer's recent quote, "For the first time in years I feel safe," and you have the perfect fuel for speculation. One video edit overlays this quote with scenes of the two laughing behind the scenes, sharing quiet glances and walking side by side. It ends with the question, are they already writing there forever? It has over 2 million views and counting. Brain more than just gossip. But here's what makes these theories powerful. They're not driven by scandal. They're driven by hope. Because at the heart of every theory is a quiet wish. A belief that two people who found comfort in each other might be building something real. And for many fans, especially those who understand what it means to love quietly, to protect your heart in a noisy world, that hope feels deeply personal. They're not just rooting for a celebrity couple. They're rooting for a kind of love that lasts. So are the theories true? Maybe. Maybe not. But the energy, the devotion, the thousands of fan threads and video edits, they all speak to something undeniably human. We want to believe in love, especially the kind that doesn't need to be shouted to be real. In a world full of loud headlines and fleeting trends, maybe what draws us to Liu Yuning and Song Zuer is their quiet, their calm, their gentle way of showing up for each other, not through big declarations, but through the smallest, most sincere moments. Whether it's a matching necklace, a shared glance, or just the comfort of being in the same space, something about their connection reminds us all of what love can look like when it's real, mature, and unspoken. And maybe that's why we care. Because deep down, we're not just watching for the drama. We're watching for the warmth, for the tenderness, for proof that even in the public eye, genuine love still finds a way to grow. Slowly, quietly, beautifully. Speech balloon. So what do you believe? Do you think the necklace was a silent confession? Do you think they're already living together? Or do you think some stories are too precious to ever be confirmed? Backhand index pointing down. We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Your thoughts, your theories, your hopes. Share them with us. Movie camera. And if this kind of content touches your heart and makes you think, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update in this unfolding story. From our storytelling family to yours, thank you for watching, feeling, and wondering with us. This journey isn't over, and we'll be right here with you for every whispered clue and every quiet moment that might just mean everything. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and stay connected.